is like a daughter to me. And so we're just going to sit here and shoot the shit, and thought maybe we would let you guys join in because Dia and I just always seem to jump in the deep end and go into beautiful, deep conversations. And so that's all I want to talk about today. I think that a good place to start is to just talk about maybe where you're at right now, because there's so many people struggling, and we're in the pandemic, and we're, like I said, staring at these walls over and over and over and over and over again every freaking day. And some of us are losing our shit, and for those that are losing your shit, we're talking to you, man. You're not in it by yourself. You are not in it alone. It is tough right now, and we just are going to talk about some coping skills that we're utilizing that you guys could utilize too, or maybe you can share what you're doing so that we can all grow and learn together. I'm painting. Izzy Bear made these little flamingos, and I'm doing the final touches, like the eyes on them. So maybe one of you will get one of these. Yay! Anyway, Dia also goes by the cute name of Eeyore, because sometimes Dia struggles with her sadness, and I think I'm going to turn the camera sideways. It's going to fuck you all up when you're watching it. Haha. But anyway, so Dia struggles with being sad and self-care and self-love, and I recognize these traits and patterns from when I was, I'm going to go back to my days of being 17, because that's where she always takes me to, and it really reminds me of the pain I went in by myself. Like, I was in so much pain, and nobody around me understood, but instead, many people love to throw gasoline on my fire and make sure that I was burning. And I never felt where it was safe enough to really learn and grow. And when I was going through my worst is when I struggled with eating disorders. And that's kind of like what I want to talk about on a real deep level, because it is 2:45 in the afternoon, and most people have had at least breakfast and lunch with possibly snacks somewhere in between. And I want you to tell us, Dia, what have you had today before this?
Nothing.
Wait, one more time, what?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. And it's 2:45, so right there is your first huge red flag that something is not right, because what happens if you get into a car that has no gasoline?
It doesn't go.
It goes nowhere. And so if you try to run your body too long with no gasoline, no fuel, it's not gonna go far for you. And we need you to be in our family forever, so we're gonna talk about how to make it go farther. I know, ridiculous. So Dia has a hard time, and this is something I've had to learn over life how to cope with. How do you start? Like, why? When you wake up in the morning and your stomach hurts and you can't eat, or you don't want anything, like, what do you do then?
Man. Like, man.
So that's what I want to, we were talking before the video about putting together a schedule for you, and so this is what I would like to do. In the first part of waking up, I want you to put 3 good things into your body to start your day. And these are all open to your decision per day, because you may not always want the same 3 things. And so therefore, if you have flexibility, I learned this from my husband, who is constantly learning coping skills to overcome addiction, and you have to replace things. And so if you can put 3 things in there without a solid commitment but a partial commitment, it'll help you get started. And so we just did 3 things right now. We have water, so you can get yourself hydrated, and we have some Green Goddess juice, some fruit juice with a bunch of fruits and vegetables, vitamins and minerals, and we also added grapes. And these sound, for people who have an eating disorder who don't eat, this sounds like a lot to ask you to do. But if you look at this cup size, I'm talking a small teacup, and I only put half of a cup of juice in that. It's not that intimidating. It's not that doable. Izzy will slam a whole green size cup in the morning every morning, so I know that Dia can handle a half a cup of this orange. And then the grapes. How many grapes did I give you?
Like 4 or 5.
Okay, so 4 or 5 grapes. Not a huge commitment, but it is something to get you going. And for me, when I started, I told you this before, but I started with just a simple piece of cheese because it was bland enough that it didn't upset my stomach too bad. And for some of us, we have to, enjoy some green before we can even think about entertaining something in our guts, just to calm the IBS or calm the Crohn's disease or calm the anxiety or whatever they may have labeled it as that's causing your stomach to feel like a rock. It just kind of helps you get going in the flow. So 3 things could be hydration. It could be something to give you substance, like food, fruits or vegetables, cheese, crackers. If you get crackers, try to get ones that are made of like fresh fruits and vegetables, like dried crackers or something, because you want to eat. When you struggle with a disorder, the number one thing that I would strongly suggest is that you eat on purpose and with purpose, because you have to get as much nutrients to your body as possible since you're limiting the amount of intake that's coming in. And so if you can get 3 quality things, like don't start your day off with some McDonald's, because that's gonna make you A, have diarrhea, B, constipated, or C, just want to fucking die, because that I don't eat fast food anywhere, anytime, any place, never, because it always made me sick. So I cut that out of my food altogether.
Oh yeah.
I had to eat with purpose and on purpose because I didn't eat. And so now I have Cassie as my daughter, and she is a perfect little grazer. When she was 8 years old, lived on peanut butter on a spoon. The craziest thing. But at least she had some protein, and she had sugars that kept her going. And she didn't require a lot. She would go through many phases, though, where when she was growing, she would eat more. But she just go eat a few nuts, go, take some green juice, and just consistently ate whatever. But she wasn't always healthy. That girl could smash on some Takis, like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. For sure.
But I loved how her metabolism seemed to keep her body nice and petite where she would like to be. But I didn't have that, and so I just would study her as a mom. I wasn't a mom at that time, but I am now, so I'd study her like a mama and watch her, how she ate and how she took care of herself, so that I could help her learn and grow. And that's like kind of where this comes from. Like, I've had long enough now to know you that I can see your patterns, and I want to change that. And so I went on a really long tangent, but 3 things could be, like I said, food, water, juice. It could be if you're just mentally not right, and so you have to go watch some kind of high vibration video, whether it be music video, whether it be something about God, or just to be kind, so something that will allow you to breathe, some Bob Marley, something, that'll get you set right mentally, or physical, do some stretches, go for a walk, get outside, get some fresh air, some negative ions, just some good vibrations in you, because when you come here and we add that, your light always brightens. Like, your dimness begins to shine more, and your smile returns, and your shoulders, you just carry yourself differently when you're taking care of yourself. You have more noticeable pride, like, you know? And I want to give you that always. And I want to give you that, because we know how bad it sucks when you're struggling, and mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, it doesn't matter. We're all in it together. And even if you got to smoke a little green, and that's part of what you're pouring in to make your shit right, Mama Bear ain't hating on you. You do what you got to do to get yourself centered, because I like to paint. That's part of my coping. I like to smoke. I like to drink. I like to go for a walk. I like to do all those things. Play with the dogs. Play with Izzy. Izzy is my #1 coping skill right now in life, because anytime anything sucks, finances, I don't want to eat. I too have been triggered with my eating disorder. The weather causes a big effect. Yesterday when it was dreary, I didn't want to eat nothing. Nothing sounded good. I did not want anything.
That's so crazy.
But even the same as today, it's all bright and shiny. Like, I don't want to eat now because I'm all, and so I have to do it on purpose. Like, I have to remember that Izzy's mom has to take care of herself before she can take care of Izzy. Exactly. And that's why when you talk about having kids and it's scary, that shit is scary, because it's hard enough taking care of yourself.
It is.
But as a mommy, what I've really learned is, like, I can take care of anyone. Taking care of me is where I really need a support team. I really need the Love Alive family, because, you know, Joe checks in with me, you check in, Cassie checks in, Brian checks in, like, all the people that love us constantly are like, hey, how you doing? That baby's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And it's just a connection. It's just a way to keep us all in it together, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So, if you guys out there are struggling with your eating disorder, I'm proud of you for watching this video and acknowledging the fact that there's red flags, there's stuff going on. Definitely seek some professional help, definitely seek a circle of support. All of these things are really valuable and will help you learn these coping skills I'm talking about. So high five, we got our first step for your schedule, girl. All right, we love you guys. Have a good day.